Top Gun Maverick is the second installment from the Top Gun franchise, and it is Tom Cruise's most successful hit in his entire career. Now today I'm going to be telling you much more about the movie, especially since I just watched it recently, and I'm also going to be giving it my review, my ratings, and I will be telling you some of the cast and some of the crew in this movie. My name is Vicky Styles. Click the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to this channel, because I do a lot of movie talks, movie discussions and movie reviews, so that is one reason why you should stay subscribed to this channel. And also click the bell notification beside it so you can get notified anytime I upload a new video on this channel. Now, the movie was made by Paramount Pictures and it was based on stories from Peter Craig and Justin Marks. It is the second installment of the Top Gun franchise, like I said earlier, and it happens about 30 fiction years after the first movie. So I think, time has gone, and a lot of the people from the first movie actually didn't star in this movie because maybe something must have happened, or maybe they just didn't agree to come back for the second movie. Now, the movie was directed by Joseph Kosinski. Now, the movie stars Tom Cruise reprising his role as Maverick, and Maverick is the main character for the entire franchise. So we have Val Kilmer, who was in the first movie, reprising his role as Iceman, one of the generals in the army, and he always does everything possible to protect Maverick and keep Maverick in the business of the military and all that. Meanwhile, we have Miles Teller, who is Rooster in this movie, and he seems to be someone that Maverick knows from the past, and for whatever reason he delayed Rooster's progress in the military, and that caused a bit of a conflict between these two men in this movie. Other people in this movie are Jennifer Connelly, who stars as the character that Maverick is in love with, or maybe she is in love with him. I don't know who actually was in love with who. And we also have Glen Powell, who was kind of a negative character and trying to put some negativity into the characters of every other person. And then we have Hamm and a couple of other good actors and actresses who did their best to make this movie a success. Now, about the movie, I'm going to start with the first scene. Now, I'm glad that they put a little bit of reality into this movie, because I know that some people have been thinking of joining the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, and they think that the work involved is so easy. It's something that is going to be so easy to join them, and probably even so easy to get ranks in either of the military. But, well, with the reality they showed in the first scene, I think some people who may be aspiring to become one of the military would definitely know that yes, they need to put in that work, they need to put in that sacrifice involved. And it also shows in Maverick's character, his determination to make sure that he finishes whatever exercise or mission that is coming his way. But last he got him into trouble, and he was almost getting fired or losing his entire reputation when Iceman called the other lieutenant and then asked him to come back to Top Gun and train a couple of people. So, well, at least we see a little bit of reality between determination, expectation and reality. So that's my own take. They really did a good job by showing a little bit of reality. Now, about the cinematography, this is one reason why I love this movie so much. it seems like the cinematography on land is different from the cinematography in the air. How do I mean? They use different types of cameras for, the various scenes. Like on land, I think maybe they used, I don't really know the names, but they use some kind of cameras, and you would see it from the landscape, landscape view. And on air, you can see that these cameras are different, possibly because they could cover up your entire screen, or if you're using a phone to view them. And I think there was a reason for this, reason being that maybe the cameras on land couldn't give that picture quality that they wanted to achieve in the air. So they used a different set of cameras, and well, they did a good job generally in the cinematography, and they did a good job in placing cameras in specific places where they wanted to tell their story from. So if you notice, it was very easy for them to capture when the jets fly past a particular place. It was very easy for them to capture in the interior of the jets, and it was also very easy for them to capture, by the sides or under the jets. So in generally, they did a lot of work for the cinematography, and they also tried in the aspect that they got real jets, and they had their actors trained for real jet fights and real jet flights. And it was an amazing experience for me watching it, and I'm sure it was also an amazing experience for the people who starred in this movie generally. Now, one of the most funniest scenes in this movie is the bar scene. That first bar scene where he walks in and he talks to his favorite female character. Now, I think if she wanted to, just let him walk away with, whatever he did that annoyed her, if she really wanted to do that, she would have just let him walk away. But I think she was trying to play hard to get, and it was so funny to see that the guy would actually buy a round for every single person that asked for it. And who wouldn't take such opportunity? Let me just be honest. If I were in that place, I would have definitely taken such opportunity, especially if I knew the rules of that bar. So eventually the guy couldn't pay up whatever amount he was owing, and well, they had to throw him out. I must commend them generally for their comedy in this movie, because they managed to balance the comedy and the realism in this movie. They balanced both of them together, unlike Love and Thunder. No offense though, but unlike Love and Thunder, we don't see the comedy and the epicness of that movie blending together. It's more like they are forcing the comedy to come out of the movie. But in this case, it's like, it's something that happens naturally. That's the way they make it look. It's like the comedy is just a natural, is a natural thing in the army. And although yes, we know that the army are serious people and all that, but of course every human being has that funny side, has that cheerful side. So they made the comedy aspect of this movie blend in with the realistic side. So it was just looking like everything was just naturally happening, and the story was just going and going until eventually the movie ended. Now, I know I've talked about the cinematography before, but in this case I'm here to talk about the strategies and the plane movements and all that. Yes, I know that in real life jets can actually move in those corners and in the ways that were displayed in that movie. But getting the actors to get used to such such pressure, it was kind of amazing how actors could just leave their comfort zone and get used to how the the flights are, and especially from Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise didn't find it much difficult because he was in the first movie, and I'm sure that based on the fact that he's a method actor, he will definitely know that this was what I did how many years ago. I need to just put my mind back on what I did about 30 years ago, something like that. But for the rest of the cast, I think they took their time, put in their efforts, their mental efforts to just get used to the whole thing. I heard that it was just how many months that they took to train for every single flight scene that they did, and it's amazing. I give the actors in this case credit for taking their time, getting used to the strategies, getting used to the movements, and eventually giving us some of the best air performances I've ever seen in any movie. Now, the last mission, the actual mission to go and destroy the Iranian plant. Now, that is one scene or set of scenes that I have reason to doubt if most of those scenes were real. I'm not saying it wasn't real, but I have every reason to doubt, because I don't think they would destroy those jets if they were actually real. So I have every reason to question if they were real, and based on the pressure and the flight movements involved, yeah, I have every reason to question whether it was real or whether it wasn't real. But generally, nice performance from the cast, brilliant strategy from the crew, and it's the director. Wow, I'm sure that he was a genius to actually put all this together and make sure that everything looked as military as it could be. So my review for this movie is a 10 out of 10. It was perfect, very, very perfect, and I now see the reason why this movie managed to get past $1 billion all over the world. It was so fantastic to watch. I actually regret why I didn't watch it in the cinemas. At this point, I must admit, I actually regret why I didn't watch it in cinemas. But anyways, let's just let it fly, and maybe in the nearest future something better would be out and I'll definitely experience it in the cinemas. But until something better comes out, please remain subscribed to this channel, like this video, make your comments about the movie, especially if you've seen it. But if you've not seen it, tell me why you still wouldn't want to watch it, or why you now want to watch it based on what I've said. And another thing you should do, check out my social links and my video links. They are all in the description below. Click on any one of your choice and watch my other videos and let me know what you think there also. Now, stay subscribed to this channel like I said earlier. Click the bell notifications beside it to get notified anytime I upload a new video on this channel. Thank you for watching this video, and until my next video, stay safe and goodbye.